Okay, you gave me a ton because there's a lot out there. And the reason why there's a lot out there is because there are examples of tour pros that do every one of those things that you say. So nobody can say all the tour pros are doing this, because there's multiple examples of tour pros that do completely the opposite, right? So let's just talk about maybe two examples. We'll talk about classic swings, right? Let's talk about a toe up to toe up classic swing. There's a rate of face closure rotation, and then there's a lack of face rotation. So those are the two that really make it to the tour. Some have a little more face rotation, some have less face rotation. The ones that don't make it to the tour are the ones that go from shut to shut, because in order to get on tour you have to go from shut to open, which is basically the square to square philosophy, right?
Yes.
Then there's the toe up to toe up philosophy. So there's really only two that actually make it to the tour. So examples of toe up to toe up, they're your classics, like a little bit more of a Jack Nicklaus, Tiger Woods, Retief Goosen, Ernie Els, right? So where there's rotation in both ways. There's body rotation, and then there's face rotation, where you turn the toe up and you bring it to toe down. So when I was growing up, that was exactly it. Take the toe up, you keep the path from the inside, you come through, release it to the same place on the other side. If the face hits the ball slightly left of the path, you get a draw, right? If the face hits slightly right of that path, you get a fade. So you have a face to path correlation. The ball doesn't know what you did, whether you did neutral, cupped, bowed. The ball doesn't know if you lean all your weight on your left leg or your right leg. It doesn't know any of that stuff. All it knows is the collision, okay? So you have those two methods, right? I listed all of those. Now let's list the more, shut to square. So we go back to Lee Trevino, then we go to Paul Azinger, then we go to David Duval, then you go to more of like a Brooks Koepka and Dustin Johnson, right? So now the face is going from a square or shut, or bowed and shut, to more square, right? Now there's two ways for you to do this. You can come in here and hold this way, right? Which, if you hold at an exertion level at 50, 60, 70%, you can retain that angle. If the exertion level goes 80, 90, 100%, that wrist is going to buckle. Then you have a choice. Do I let it roll, or do I scoop it under? Those that let it roll at this point accidentally hit big hooks. Those that scoop it under keep the ball going straight, right? I played toe up to toe up. Now I play more closed to open, because when you boil down what the athlete does to the physics of the collision, there's one other element, which is pressure, right? Under pressure, what's going to happen, right? Under club head speed, what's going to happen? I found that I need to be in control of the club face, and I know that under pressure, if I miss, I want my ball to come out and fall a little bit to the right. I don't ever want to see it hook, right? So I can eliminate partially the left side of the fairway or the green, because when I come through, I'm always releasing energy. So when I took lessons from Jim Flick, he said no great player has ever played a hold off fade, right? Now there's plenty of strong guys that can hold off fades, but even the strongest guys under pressure, the hold off fade turns into a double cross, right? So I feel like playing a release fade is far more repeatable and under pressure safer, right? So here's the two swings. If I set up here, take a little bit more neutral grip, thumb on top, right hand on top, go set up to toe up, this is what it looks like. And you can kind of see, here's the release, there's the toe. The other swing isn't a whole lot different, except it's a little stronger grip. The face comes back a little more shut, and then the release is more scooped. So then you see it here versus there. The must-have, in my opinion, for you and for any golfer is the release. I believe 100% that Jim Flick is correct. Holding stuff off is only backfires under pressure. If you can release it, at least your effort, your intention, everything is going. You're not trying to hold something back. Right now, chip shots, pitch shots, if you're underneath a tree and you have to have an abbreviated swing and punch it, sure. But a stock standard swing should never be held. It should always be released, right? So, to answer your question, there is a release that's a must. How you release, you now have a choice, right? So when you do the hammer down release, that's just the release. There might as well not even be a club face, because the reason why hammering down over here works is because the exertion, the centrifugal force that's created at the bottom of the arc, is maximized when you throw energy in this place, right? It's not even a question. You throw energy here, it peaks with momentum there, okay? The choice that you have is, do you throw the hammer shut in this direction and then release it under, or do you throw the heel in this direction and release it over? So you have a moment in time where you have to choose. Do you turn the club into square and then over, or do you turn the club from closed under to finish here, right? It's your choice, because I just named a whole bunch of people that do it this way and a whole bunch of people that do it this way. You get to choose which one you want to do.